So this is a quick little beginner's guide to understanding exactly what happened the other day when all the news sites were talking about this huge new virus that was going around the internet that was going to take down massive parts of infrastructure and cause this blackout problem for most of the world. And in reality, that didn't actually happen. There was very few incidents reported, and there was relatively, no real trouble that day. But understanding exactly what happened with this DNSChanger virus requires a little bit of background understanding of um, the way the internet works and the way that the FBI handled this particular problem. And so my goal here in this video is to provide a quick, maybe 5 minute or so explanation of exactly how this virus worked and how the FBI took down the original virus creators and why there were issues, and then also why there weren't as many issues as the news media claimed there would be the other day. So, a while ago, there was a virus that was going around called DNSChanger. And in order to understand exactly what DNSChanger did, you have to understand DNS. And what DNS is, it stands for the Domain Name System. And it's essentially the address book of the internet. Computers don't function in human readable terms like google.com and yahoo.com. They actually function using numbers, and that number is called an IP address. So Google may have a number, and it's a dotted decimal quad notation. So for example, Google might be IP address 67.120.10.12. That may be Google's IP address. And Google has a lot of different IP addresses, but that's the one address that translates to google.com when you type it into your browser. So essentially, the DNS system is basically a huge worldwide distributed system that uses a hierarchy of servers to translate domain names such as google.com into the computer readable names such as the IP address that I just mentioned. Now, the virus that was going around was essentially changing the DNS address for different users of the internet. So when people would download this virus and it would install in their systems, and if they didn't have, up-to-date patches and they didn't have up-to-date malware protection, that kind of thing, then this virus would change their DNS settings. And basically what was happening was they were going from having the DNS settings that were set by their ISP to having this new address for DNS that was set by the virus. So what happens is when you request a site like Google, your computer goes out to your DNS server address and it says, hey, what address is Google located at? And the server will reply and it'll send them the correct IP address. But when this virus changed that, the systems that your computer originally talked to are no longer there. And now your computer is talking to a server that's owned by the criminals, that's owned by the people that made the virus software. So now this virus has caused your system to talk to servers that you're not used to talking to. So when you request google.com, your computer says, hey, bad server, where's google.com located? And the bad server will reply and it'll say something along the lines of, Google is located at this IP address. But the new IP address that it gives you is actually a server that's controlled by the malware writers, the people that wrote the virus. And that's bad because you're not getting google.com anymore. You're getting a server that these people set up to mimic google.com. They can do all sorts of things with this. They can cause you to enter your login details on google.com, or what you think is login on google.com, but it's actually their own server. They can, download more viruses to your computer. They can do all sorts of nasty things. So a while ago, the FBI was investigating this virus, and they found the creators, and they managed to take down this virus, so it was no longer affecting users. However, all around the internet, everyone who's already been affected by this virus still has this IP address in their system that's talking to the malware creators' servers. And so the FBI, they decided, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll set up a server at the same IP address as the original malware server, and it'll just function as a standard DNS. So now when you talk to it, even though you're still infected with the virus, you'll go to the real google.com and not the fake google.com. But the FBI quickly realized that they couldn't maintain this server forever. So, there was 60,000 or so people around the world that had um, these fake DNS entries on their system because of this virus that they had gotten a while ago. And now they're all happily talking to the FBI's servers, but the FBI realizes that they need to take it down. So that's essentially what happened on Monday, was the FBI said, okay, at midnight, we're taking down our servers, and the people that have been contacting them will no longer be able to obtain DNS entries. So when you say, where's Google, the address that your computer has been using to find out where Google is no longer exists. And the simple way of fixing that is to basically edit your DNS settings back to those that are provided by your ISP or to something like OpenDNS or Google's DNS servers. And it's a very easy fix, but not one that people generally think of off the top of their heads. So the media sort of blew this out of proportion. The media said, there's going to be this mass blackout for hundreds of internet users. And in reality, that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. There were, a number of internet users that still had this virus and still had these fake settings, but they were all able to contact their ISPs, and the ISPs were aware of the problem. And thanks to a number of public awareness campaigns, enough people had changed their settings back to the original settings and removed this virus that there wasn't really an issue. So that's really everything you need to know about this particular virus, this particular issue that was affecting users. Again, the media really blew it out of proportion. It was nothing to worry about. It was nothing to stress out about or anything like that. So if there's anything that you don't understand or you'd like me to clarify further, please leave a comment and I'll be happy to do that. Thanks.